All right, so lesson 4.6. Now we're going to focus on just right triangles. So last time was equilateral and isosceles. Today is just right triangles. So find the value of y. So remember, we can look at this two ways. This bisects, so this could be a y, or the base angles are congruent since the sides are congruent, and that could be 63. We know it's going to be perpendicular with the last side. So 90 and 63 make 153 plus our y is going to be all three angles added together of a triangle, which is 180. So if we subtract the 153 over, y ends up being 27 degrees. So last time with isosceles we had legs. The legs were the two sides that were the same. We're still dealing with legs with a right triangle. Only the legs are going to be the two sides that touch the 90 on a right triangle. The slant side then is your hypotenuse. So leg and leg that touch the 90, hypotenuse is away from the 90. It's your slant side. So normally side-side angle does not prove congruence. We can't have a side and an angle and have it work. And here's why. Because if we have, say, this angle and this side congruent to that angle with this side and this side. Notice how we have two different triangles, they don't work. So one way to look at this is we would have angle side side. So in other words, ASS, which forms a bad word. So think if it makes a bad word, it does not work. Now please do not say Mr. Weezy talked about bad words today in class. Not where I'm going with this. So just keep in mind, if it makes a bad word, it will not prove congruence. This does not work. Angle side side. So in other words, side side angle. Does not work. Now, special case for right triangles though. It's called hypotenuse leg. So here, if the hypotenuse, so a side, and one of the legs, another side, could be the one, we would have side side and a right angle, we could prove these congruent by hypotenuse legs. Because this is a right angle, there's only one spot where this could be. If it swings, it comes off. Where here, we could swing it and still touch on the other side, which would be where we get this triangle. But hypotenuse leg, there's only one way to do it. And here's proof of that. Now, where this is coming from is this, is we have two right triangles. So what they're going to do is they're going to draw out a triangle onto this so that YZ is going to be the same here, which is going to be the distance of QR. I'll put 3 deals down. Well, we already know these match, and we already know these here match. So we would have congruent triangles by side, side, side. A little bit of a stretch because it's a drawing thing, but that's what they're using to prove this. You can do proofs by construction. We're going to stay away from them just because genuinely it tends to make kids really confused. So just know that this is a possibility, and how they did it was showing that, hey, we could extend this out and we put a point S so that it's the same distance that it is away from Z. Everything else is the same, so these here two would be congruent. This is the same length as what this one here is. Then, and so these here would have to be congruent as well. Again, it's all by side, side, side. But where we can use this then is which two triangles are going to be congruent by HL. So it has to be the same ones. It can't shift. Now, this one here is a little blurry, but the 5 is there. So 5 for hypotenuse, 5 for hypotenuse, 5 for a leg. 3 for a leg, 3 for a leg, 3 for a leg. So the 3 works. The 5 has to be a hypotenuse. It can't be another leg. Leg and the angle does not work. And technically that would be side angle side. So it's not hypotenuse leg. So the two that would work would be triangle LMN congruent to triangle, so LMN OQP. by HL. So why HL works is we would do something like this. So we are given that we have right angles M and Q. We're also given that LN is 5, which is also equal to OP. And we're also given that LM is 3, which is also OQ. So this is what we're all given. So number 2, we would say that LN is congruent to OP as well as LM congruent to OQ. Reason would be by definition. So if they are congruent, they're going to have this equal measure. 3, with HL, you have to say that they're right triangles. So we're given that we have right angles in there, but we would say triangle LMN and triangle OQP are right triangles. And again, that's going to be by definition. That has to be part of it. These are not right angles, we can't use HL. So your fourth one would be that triangle LMN is congruent to triangle OQP, and our reason is HL. It's kind of how you go through it. So ones are given. I know I have that backwards, but that's kind of how a proof for HL would go. Is you'd start with your givens. You're going to have to probably prove one or both sets of sides congruent. If it's not a part of the given, you have to state that they're right triangles because they have right angles there. So they have to be right triangles before you can use HL. By the way, both of those are by definition in this case. So your last step would be the triangles are congruent by HL. So, given that WJ is congruent to KZ, angle W and angle K are right angles, prove that triangle JWZ is congruent to triangle ZKJ. So right now we have WJZK, so we have a set of legs. So we need our set of hypotenuses. But first, I'm going to put our given. So that's given. We could say that JZ is congruent to JZ by reflexive. So if I mark that, right now we have our legs, we have our hypotenuses. So the one thing we gotta say is that triangle JWZ and triangle ZKJ are right triangles by definition. Again, have to have that with hypotenuse leg. Now, I'm going to scribble out number 4 just because we're taking up some space there, but we can do this on our last one. Again, this is one where the given was split up. We're putting it all together so we can drop one of them. So the last thing would be that triangle JWZ is congruent to triangle ZKJ by HL. And that's it. So, let me know if you have any questions. Remember, you can always pause it if you need time to write stuff down, or you can rewind if you need to watch something again if you missed something. If you guys have questions, please let me know. Please ask me the questions. I'm here to help. Otherwise, until next time, we'll talk to you later.